go to college. You could go do all these things. You could go be in the military. You could bang a chick. You know, nowadays women are getting strap-ons banging dudes in their ass. Okay? So go ahead.
Genesis 3:6.
Mm-hmm.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes of and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
See, that's what these women do. They come and they give you their theory and think that is right. Like my chick, when she left, she said, I was like, when are you going to come home? You know, you want your woman home. You miss your women. You miss your children. And she before she came home, she was trying to lay down all kinds of law on me. See, that's what she did to Adam. She came to Adam and said, look, Adam, look, I could go to work. We could get more money. But then guess what work has? A bunch of dudes that are trying to commit adultery with her. All right? A bunch of women that are trying to teach a woman how to be a whore. Oh, I could go to college. What do you think college is for? Adultery, whoredom, stupid shit that they put up here, provoking women to think that they're missing out. And I can identify that with Genesis 2:17. Go ahead.
Genesis 2:17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in...
Hold on. So the tree of knowledge. Knowledge. Where do you so-called get knowledge? Colleges. You learn a new job skill. That's a certain kind of knowledge. If you break down the word knowledge, it means to open a door. The word demon again. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
You shall surely die. Okay? Now let's go ahead and go back to, let me edify 6 again, verse 6 on Genesis 3. Go ahead and read that verse 6.
Genesis 3:6.
Mm-hmm.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
So pleasant to the eyes. The guy might say, hey man, I want 2 chicks at one time. An orgy. That might look good in your eyes. Or have a chick licking another chick in front of you. That might be pleasant to the eyes. But it's bullshit. It's death. Yeah? Or Christmas, you see those cartoons or those TV shows where they got Christmas and all the families around the campfire, the fireplace. They got a tree glowing. Oh, it looks so lovely. It can be pleasant to the eyes. Sin is pleasant to the eyes. Go ahead.
And a tree to be desired to make the eyes, and the tree... Oh, wait, Salakia.
You start from the top again.
Okay. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
She brought it to her husband. Just like my so-called woman did. She tried to bring that bullshit to me. That women are equal. That I was dishonoring her because I think she's because I bring out the word woman. What does the word woman mean? The word woman means servant. She got mad because I said women were created just to bring pleasure to the man. That's the truth of it. But Satan, the spirit of Satan, which inhabits the Caucasians, tells these women, you could be like a man. You could be like God. Having multiple sex partners. Only a man is able to have wives and concubines. A woman is only to have one man. But who has the biggest amount of numbers of sex partners today? Jake women. Most women by the age, if you look it up, Google it, most women that have AIDS are 15 years old, and it's in the Negro Latino race. And I wouldn't doubt if it's in the Native Americans. Because that's a curse on our people. All those STDs. Who do you think's in the abortion clinics? Because they're getting banged on the weekends, maybe even multiple times in one night. And then a man Listen to rap music, it says, oh, it's good for a woman to get around. You want a woman that ain't a virgin, because then she knows what she's doing in bed. Freaking stupid. And the food ain't no damn apple either, Christian. What it means by for food is meaning consuming. That you take it in and digest it and break it down and start to... Because food actually becomes who you are. It says, what's that saying? What you eat, you become? Or
And it's true. I think it's like every 30 days you are what you actually eat.
True. So if you're listening about horrors all the time, guess what you're going to want? Or guess what you're going to become, women? Go ahead, on.
Okay, we're on verse 7.
Yeah.
Genesis 3:7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
See, and they try to hide the shame. That's like these women today. They go out and they become whores, and they have babies from multiple baby daddies. And they try to make it sound right, like, oh, I was looking for love in all the wrong places. They try to justify themselves. Or dude, he turns out all kinds of chicks, turns them into whores. He was like, I was a pimp player back in the day. You know? That's what that means. When they're naked, if you were naked in public, you'd be ashamed. You'd be embarrassed. So what they're trying to do is to cover their privates, cover themselves. Now, Christians, it doesn't mean for you to go freaking walk on a nude beach or go eat dinner. They just opened here in Denver, Colorado, a nude restaurant. Who the fuck wants to eat at a nude restaurant? Who wants to smell ass while you're eating? You know? Freaking stupid Caucasians.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Genesis 3:8.
Yeah.
And they heard the voice of the Lord, Yahweh, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord Yahweh.
And the voice of the Lord is this here, the scriptures. They know they sinned because see, in Israel, in the Israelites, it's in your spirit. You know when you're doing wrong. You know, you feel shame when you do something wrong. So that's what they're talking about. They got afraid and try to hide themselves, trying to justify themselves. Go ahead.
Amongst the trees of the garden.
Come.
And the Lord Yahweh called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou?
Now you think the Lord didn't know where he was? No, that's what he's doing right now in this captivity, and he done in every captivity. Where are you, Israel? Where are you? The Lord put us in this captivity so that we might cry out to him. But our pride, worthless pride in fact, and our women that try to rule over us, and our feminine men that let women rule over us, they deny the Lord. Like pork. You know, you got a chick that grew up on pork, you're trying to keep these commandments, you might say, no more pork in my house. That chick might up and move. Because she loves that stinky ass bacon more than you. Now, are you going to say, oh, forget it, all right, baby, all right. You go ahead, we'll just put your bacon on this side, I'll put my turkey bacon on this side so it don't touch. We'll cook it in this pan, and I'll cook mine in that pan. No. That's exactly what Adam did. He took what Eve brought to him and said, okay, baby, we'll work it out. We'll make it work. He should have killed that bitch. What he should have did. But you know what he does? Go ahead. We'll find out. We'll let the scripture clear it up.
Genesis 3:9. And the Lord Yahweh called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou?
Come.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked.
Because I was ashamed. That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
And I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked?
Yes. So he's telling him, who told you? Why are you ashamed? Okay? And the Lord ain't questioning him because the Lord ain't got no clue. The Lord does this for specific reasons. He wants you to actually admit to your own sin. But look what Adam does. And I bet you, most of us do it. Because I catch myself still doing it. Even though I know this truth, I still fight with myself every day because I catch myself doing this crap. Go ahead.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
So did you do that sin I told you not to do? Go ahead.
And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
See, instead of just saying I did commit the sin, I did it. You know what he does? He blames Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. He says, it's the woman you gave me. God, why did you give me such a treacherous woman? Why did you give me such a whore? Why did you give me this lesbian? But it was you that lusted after her, that chased after her little funky ass tail. See, I felt that same too. When my girl left me, because see, Satan comes with all these thoughts and images in your brain, trying to tempt you to curse God to his face. Remember Job. Job, that was the whole point of Satan, to test Job, to get him to curse God to his face. But who sent Satan? Yahweh did. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So, he's always giving you tests. The Lord's always testing you, trying to prove you. What are you going to serve? You got two directions. You can either go towards Satan, which is death, breaking these commandments, Christianity. Just call on the name Jesus. Follow your woman's stinky ass tail to death. Or you follow the Lord, which sometimes you end up all by yourself. And sometimes in a puddle of tears. Because it's heartbreaking, to lose your family. You see everybody else at the family, you want your family too. But you got to open your eyes to see what's really happening in this reality. The Lord's strengthening you through these tests. He's not trying to destroy you. If he wanted you dead, he'd kill your ass in the worst way he could. But no, he's trying to strengthen you, like he's trying to strengthen me. What up?
Genesis 3:13.
Read 12 one more time.
Genesis 3:12. And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
So he did eat it. Meaning he accepted the bullshit she came with. Lesbianism, eating bacon, blonding her hair, wearing tight jeans. Some bullshit like that. Or him becoming feminine, shaving his beard. Lining up his hair so he looks cleaner. Go ahead.
And the Lord Yahweh said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
The serpent, once again, is that treacherous person. Who's that treacherous person? So-called Caucasians. Even there's this, he looks like a Caucasian, but honestly I think he's an Israelite in the spirit. But he even says, he's red hair, but he says his family comes from England. But, it's all in the testifying of the spirit. But first day I met him, he was like, fuck Whitey, kill Whitey. And I was like, that's right. And I said, do you know who the devil is? And I didn't tell him no truth yet. And he said, I'd have to say it's these white people, because they have murdered and enslaved everybody on this earth. I was like, you might be an Israelite. But it still has time to see, because, he has his own troubles and things going through himself. But, and if the Lord is, that's what the Lord in him, that wherever the Lord puts him, if he's an elect or if he's a 2/3 or if he's an Esau. But I just wanted to bring that out. That spirit is already so, and this guy is at a low level, a dishwasher. That these people are starting to wake up. This spirit right now is waking up to who this serpent really is. It's that Caucasian that the so-called J women freaking love. That's why they blonde their hair. Who do you think they're trying to look like? Who do most of these black women date? You think they date so-called Negroes? Fuck no. They're over there trying to run after a white man because they see Spider-Man. Some weak-ass Edomite. Ain't got no salt. Go ahead.
Genesis 3:14. And the Lord Yahweh said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
And that goes back to these, like Cain and Abel. Cain, that mark of Cain was that white skin. Well, so-called white, because white is the color of paper. It's leprosy though. White is not what they are. They're red. That's why you get rednecks. They burn under the sun. Go ahead on 15.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
And that's speaking of Yahweh Shai. Because when he got on that cross and they stuck those stuck the nails to his feet, he crushed the skull of the devil. He finished the part right there. Well, when he comes back, guess what? It's going to be hell on you, Esau, so-called Caucasians. There's going to be hell to pay. Because you're going to get double for what you've done to the Lord's people. Go ahead.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
The sorrow of thy conception, meaning in the virginity, when you get your virginity popped, it hurts. Go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
When you give birth to your children, it hurts. And some women die. They bleed out. Go ahead.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
He shall rule over thee. Why? Because your ass gets deceived. I'll bring that out in, I believe it's 1 Timothy. Yeah. Let me see. 1 Timothy. Yeah, it's 1 Timothy. Right here. This is 1 Timothy. I'll start at verse 11. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence and with all subjection, meaning shut up. Don't give us your opinion. Learn to keep your fat mouth shut. But I suffer not a woman to teach, meaning you Christian pastors that have women in your churches, you're idiots. You don't know nothing about this truth. And any woman that follows a Christian pastor is an idiot. And especially you men, because you don't have no truth in you. This is out of the New Testament, not the Old, like you Christians like to play. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence, meaning shut your mouth. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman, being deceived, was in the transgression. What is transgression? 1 John chapter 3, I believe it is, which is the breaking the law. Verse 15, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. I mean, you need to suffer that pain for the shit you did, that you're still doing to today. And you don't get salvation by being a hero out there thinking you're going to shave your head and be Miss G.I. Jane. It says you need to be in subjection under a man and let him rule over you. And not no Caucasian man, not no African, not no Asian, but under an Israelite man that keeps these commandments. She shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and in holiness and sobriety. See, our women ain't got none of this. Our women don't even love their own children. That's why most of our children are being killed in abortion clinics. Most of our women don't even want children. There was a young girl I met and I was talking to her and I asked her if she was married or had children. She said, I'm too young for that. That means she's a whore. She thinks it's a low class thing to be married to have children. But that means she ain't got no salvation. She's going to taste those thermonuclear fire. And Lord willing, because that prideful spirit. You know, I understand why God's angry right now. Not to the extent he has, but you know, to the extent that the Lord has allowed us to see. Man, it angers you now. To walk in this society, it's freaking disgusting. It's a fucking shameful thing. Even TV, you can't even watch TV without seeing one of our people being destroyed. They show a young girl, 15, 16, out there in a dress, getting banged, getting raped, just used, and then she becomes a drug addict, tossed around, and then the young man that raped her, fucking, he just becomes a fucking just as bad. It's a damn shame to the Negro, Latino, and Native American, which you have become. If they continue in faith, women are faithless. The word feminine means faithless. Most of these men are feminine, so then they're faithless too.